morning, and thank you for joining us on After GMS. It is Monday, October 25th. I'm Tracy McCain here with Ed Matthews. And Ed, we were talking earlier, it is the last full week in the month of October.
Yeah, time's going by so fast.
It's like I blinked.
What, I saw somewhere on Facebook, somebody said, well, it's 2 months before Christmas.
It is.
As of today.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
As of today, tomorrow actually, it'll be a month until Thanksgiving.
Oh,
because
wow.
Tomorrow's the 26th.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so in 2 months, because today's the 25th, and so yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to get our hustle on.
Get busy. I have done zero shopping.
I was thinking of a different hustle.
The 20th of December, I will have done probably zero shopping. But anyway, that's for another time.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk about the forecast and this kind of warm trend today, and then kind of
kind of up and down.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking at upper 70s today. And some rain showers and maybe a few thunderstorms late today. I'm tracking 2 systems. The first one moving along the Carolina coast today, bringing us some clouds and bringing the coastal region some rain showers from Savannah up through South Carolina, and now some of those rain showers are moving in around Wilmington and Jacksonville. Most of this will stay to the east of the triad, but note down around Charlotte, there's a little bit on the radar there, so I couldn't rule out maybe an isolated shower or a sprinkle this morning. Now, the more important system is a strong cold front that's moving from the Midwest into the Tennessee and Ohio Valley this morning. Although there's some heavy downpours, they had some around Nashville about an hour and a half ago. There is no severe weather currently associated with the cold front, but it bears watching as it moves into our area late today and into the evening hours. Most of today is going to be actually dry here in the Piedmont, but from around 4 o'clock until around 11 o'clock this evening, we do run the risk of maybe a strong or severe storm. I want to caution, this is not going to be a gigantic severe weather outbreak, but the few storms that do develop, we'll need to keep an eye on them because the cold front moving in has a lot of energy, wind energy in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere associated with it, and that's one of the many ingredients that get severe storms going. So we got all the players on the field. We got to see how they come together and how they interact later today. Maybe we'll get lucky and have very little in the way of severe weather, but it is certainly that possibility. The low pressure along the Carolina coast, the low pressure up over the Great Lakes, and the trailing cold front. Now here's what I'm going to be watching today. If you want to talk a little bit about meteorology and really dig into it, the system to our west is stronger. Talked about the wind field. We're going to see if that stronger system may transfer some of its energy to the system along the Carolina coast. Not a definite, but it's a possibility. They may interact a little bit as we go through the day. If that transfer happens, it would weaken the winds with the approaching cold front and maybe limit the severe weather threat for the Piedmont. I'm always looking for an out. Whenever we're in a severe weather threat, I'm looking for the out. That's a possibility, but we're going to be on guard and we'll keep you posted if any severe weather watches or warnings are issued for our part of the Piedmont. Again, between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. this evening. By midnight, the front moves on down east, and then by tomorrow midday, we'll be well offshore as this sprawling area of high pressure coming down out of Canada. Thank you, Canada. Another nice batch of cooler, drier air is going to be working into the Piedmont. We go from the upper 70s today to the mid and upper 60s with a little breeze coming our way for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then another system may bring a chilly rain as we go into Thursday and Friday. So we encourage you to stay with us here at News 2. Of course, any severe weather that threatens our area later today, we'll let you know about it. Maybe we'll get lucky and all those players will stay far apart. Our fingers are crossed for that. You can see how it cools off tomorrow and Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday, just plain old rain. No thunderstorms here. A lot of you are asking for some rain, so maybe we'll get some. If not today, another chance later Thursday night and into Friday. Thursday and Friday, those temperatures stay, Tracy, in the lower 60s across the area. Wow.
You know, I've told myself this is going to happen, you know, as fall gets really going, you know, our temperatures are going to drop and we're going to see changes. But what I never would have expected is a chance for severe weather in late October, close to November, because that's not something we normally see.
You don't think about it.
Yeah.
You know, well, severe weather can happen anytime, any day of the year, but we normally think of severe weather coming in the spring and the summer. That's when we have the most active and highest threat of severe weather. But if you look at severe weather climatology, looking out over the entire year, we have a little slight increase in severe weather activity during the months of October and November. And you say, well, why? Well, that's when we start getting these strong cold fronts coming out of Canada, bringing chillier air, and sometimes that collides with the 70s that we're going to be dealing with today, and that and the energy in the upper atmosphere can lead to severe weather. So if you look at the climatology, there's a little bump in activity during October and November.
So really it's the temperatures that are the problem today.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't so warm, then we wouldn't see this type of activity.
And I am optimistic. I'm always looking for an opportunity to say, this ain't gonna happen.
Right.
You know, when you're talking about severe weather. I'm optimistic that it's cloudy this morning.
Right.
Because every degree we can trim off of that afternoon high, that's going to lessen the energy, the heat energy in the atmosphere to get these storms going. So when we say we're in the slight risk area, that doesn't mean that things are going to really explode later today.
Right.
That means that the players are on the field. Think of it as the Panthers.
Okay.
They're on the field, and we got to see how they're going to interact on the field.
And you're the quarterback.
And I'm the quarterback.
Okay.
There you go.
I get it.
We're going to see if they don't interact in the proper way.
Okay.
We're in good shape.
I feel like we're ready for a play.
We're ready for a play.
Are you going to throw it
ready
to me?
for a touchdown, yeah.
I'll run that way.
I'll send a touchdown to the Panthers. They could use it.
I love it. I love your analogy, but it started me thinking about like, oh, that'd be fun if we could play football.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we did have some questions coming in here on the feed. A lot of people saying they love that analogy, Ed Matthews.
Good,
so that
thank
made
you.
it easy for folks. So Scott wanted to know about the mountains, and I had a question right here. He asked, and I don't know where it went. Will the mountains disrupt the cold front and weaken the storms? He sounds like he knows what he's talking about, this Scotland.
Sometimes, weather aware there. Sometimes the mountains can weaken the storms as they move in from Tennessee, but they regenerate sometime after they pass the mountains and move into the foothills, and especially into the Piedmont and on down east. Maybe a factor, but again, we're just going to see how things play out later today.
Right, yeah. And Carol said she loves those temperatures, Ed Matthews.
Yeah.
Now how about some snow for Christmas?
Oh my goodness.
Can
I got
you
plenty
work
of
on that
time
for me?
I got plenty of time to work on that.
That's so funny. So yeah, Scott also added, you know, clouds are good with unstable air. Sunshine is just more fuel to the fire. So
Yeah.
as you were saying, we just don't want to see those peaks of sunshine because we want to keep the temperatures low if possible to lessen our chances of severe storms.
And I talked about earlier about that transfer of energy from the system moving in from the west to that system along the coast. We'll see if that plays out. If you can transfer some of that energy, that would be east of the triad. That would really help us out.
Right.
That may happen during the day. If that were to happen, get that energy to slide to the Carolina coast, that would help us out as well. So again, we're not looking at a big severe weather outbreak. We're just on guard, and that's what we do when we have a severe weather threat. We're on guard, we watch the radar, and we see how those players interact this afternoon. Hopefully, they don't interact very much.
I hope not. I hope it's not Sir Purr in the crowd because
That's
they
it.
interact very much.
True.
All right. Thanks so much, Ed. Of course, you guys are all tech savvy folks. You are on our feed right now, so you obviously have access to the App Store. So go ahead and download the News 2 Weather app or the News app and make sure that you have that with you throughout the day. If there's anything that pops off, we'll let you know first on your phones. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, let's move on to our headlines this morning. And we do have a lot to talk about when it comes to COVID vaccines. Dr. Anthony Fauci says COVID vaccines for children ages 5 to 11 will likely be available next week. FDA approval of Pfizer's dose application for children could come as early as this week. And our IT News McMiller shows you how parents can prepare for their children to get that first dose.
Well, as soon as approval is given, the vaccine will be available at a variety of different places, including pediatrician offices through Cone Health, like the one here, as well as pharmacies and even schools. But before taking your child to any of these places, doctors say it's important to have a conversation with your child. Now, there's a chance your child has already heard information about the vaccine, some true and some not true. So experts suggest parents ask their children what their thoughts are and how they're feeling, and to acknowledge any apprehension they may feel. Now, when it comes time to actually get the shot, they say, although they're not the same, pediatricians recommend you compare the COVID-19 vaccine to other vaccines like the flu shot.
It's complicated, but I think children can understand that on some level. And when parents tell them and really mean that it's understand the importance, I think children can kind of feel that and really recognize that when a parent is pretty serious about this, they may not like it, but I think on some level they can absolutely understand the value in what we're trying to do here.
Now, the White House says they have enough Pfizer doses to vaccinate the nearly 28 million kids who will soon be eligible. Now, for kids between the ages of 5 and 11, their vaccine dose will be 1/3 the dose that adults receive.
All right, well, today the Forsyth County Health Department will start offering Moderna and Johnson & Johnson booster shots for adults. Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist, Novant Health, and Cone Health will provide the doses within a week. Right now, you can get the shot through some pharmacies, including CVS and Walgreens. NC Work says there are more than 14,000 job openings in Guilford County right now. Cone Health has the most with 659 positions available. Guilford County Schools has 519 jobs open, and Guilford Technical Community College has 212. So our next conversation this morning, we want to know, how do you encourage yourself? Normally, when you overcome a challenge or an obstacle, you give yourself some props or toot your own horn, so to speak. It's how we encourage ourselves and maybe others too to do their best. A Good Morning Show viewer wrote this in and said, Dolores Adams, she said, when I'm proud of myself or my work, people on my team say I'm being cocky or bragging when really I'm just patting myself on the back. I'm struggling with this, she said, because I'm starting to feel like they don't like me. Do I stop being happy for myself so they'll treat me like part of the team, or just keep doing me? Great question. And according to our health and wellness expert, Lynch Hunt, the answer starts with you.
Just be true to yourself, be bold in pursuing your goals and dreams, and never apologize for being you. And if you stay true to this, then the world will change their opinion of you the day after you do.
All right, so there you go. He said that it really starts with 3 words. I don't care. Now that could be, I don't care what others say about me. I don't care what others think about me. And once you apply those things to your own environment, then you stop caring about things that don't really matter. And you focus on yourself more. And I think that's a great tip to encourage yourself. Not let anybody dim your shine or steal your light. You just want to keep, doing you and feeling good about it.
When it's just me and Rio at home, and I know this is going to sound weird to our viewers, I get in front of the mirror and I talk to Ed. It's like, come on, Ed, get it straightened out, dude. What's going on? I think self-talk, whether it be verbally talking to yourself out loud that I've done before, or just having a mental thinking process about, here's what I can do to get through a situation. I know me, I know my abilities, and another factor I will always say, God will not put anything on me that I can't handle.
Okay, preach, Ed Matthews.
And that's rather refreshing, But I think self-talk is really important, and it kind of helps you to stay in communication with yourself. So I think it's a really good thing, and it's very important.
Yeah, daily affirmations,
Yeah.
Some time to just reflect and pause, whether it's meditation or prayer. You know, those things definitely work. That time that you have by yourself to work on yourself is so valuable.
Yeah.
And you know, what we do is not really that easy.
Yeah.
I know we make it look easy.
Yeah, we've done it for such a long time.
Yeah.
Well, you know, case in point, you know, there is some severe weather threat this afternoon, late today and into the evening. I'm not worried, but I'm always self-checking, and you know me very well.
Yeah.
You know me very well. I'm a perfectionist at my job, and that can kill you, okay? Am I going to have things right? Am I going to communicate to our viewers the information that they need to get through the day safely? And it has nothing to do with confidence.
Right.
It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just making sure that I'm on my A game. And I try to do that probably too much. But when it comes to tracking the weather, I really apply that being on my A game to my job.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like, what makes you great at what you do. Whereas, you know, a lot of people say, you know, I don't care about this. You're like, I care to the extreme, and I want to make sure I get it right and potentially, you know, save people who may, you know, be in the path of a storm if that should happen. So I get that, and that's awesome.
And I say it can be exhausting.
It can be.
It can be exhausting. So what I try to do, and I'm not very good at it, is let some things flow down the river. It's like, Ed, you don't need to worry about that.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Let's focus on what you do need to worry about and be prepared. I think it's all, with me, it's all about being prepared, especially when it comes to adverse weather, severe weather, and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's just me.
Yeah, no, that's a great thing about you. Something else that Coach Hunt said was, you know, there's always going to be people who have something to say. Whether it's good or bad, they're going to have something to say. And you take it in this platform, and that's like 500,000 people every day who have something to say about you, right? However, I think that if you have a good heart and you are always doing things with the right intentions and the right, you know, thought in place and hopes for, you know, the best outcome, I don't really think that you can go wrong knowing that you 100% dedicated yourself to what you felt was right at the time. Now, hopefully, it plays out the way that you want it to, but it doesn't always. So we did ask about this on our feed here, and I heard from Tamrika first. She said she's just like the little engine that could keep chugging.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And then, let's see, Joanne said, with the Word of God every morning. George Spicer said, I don't care. Other people's of me don't bother me at all. I love it, George. Walter Wyatt said, amen, Ed. So he was
Thank you.
cheering you on this morning.
Thank you.
Yes. And Kay said, thank you, Ed. That was a great word. Christy also said, Ed, wonderful answer. And Curtis Dwayne Allred said, you do a great job. We love you, Ed. I've been with you for years. So this is
Thank you.
This is great. Walter Wyatt also added, when I do something, I'm proud of my work too. And then George added, only opinion that matters to me is my 12-year-old son and my fur babies. Joanne added, why worry when you can pray? Yes.
Absolutely.
We can all be some motivational speakers at this point.
Oh, after praying, I feel better. I can feel like a nervous wreck. You know, I say a little prayer back there in the just about every morning. I try to say, it's like, God, give me a good morning show.
It's funny.
And make sure I say what the people need to know. You know, and stuff like that. Always feel so much better and more at ease after a good pray.
Right. So, true story, when I was in 3rd grade, before every test, my mom told me, you know, just say a little prayer and you'll be fine. And so I started saying a little prayer, and I used to come back like A, B, and then like kids in my class would be like, oh, what is she doing? Like, how's this working? So then all of a sudden they started praying too, and everybody would be like, praying right before a test. And I'm like, wow, this is catching on.
Oh, I used to, before exams in college, I used to pray a lot.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, have mercy on me. But he always listens, and that's important to know.
There you go. All right, we have really had some great conversations this morning. I feel energized and ready to well, I've already started the day, but continue on.
Yeah, well, we're halfway through the day, aren't we?
It's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime.
All right, let's take a look at your forecast before you head out.
Let's do it. In all seriousness, stay with us later today and through the evening. Hopefully we can get through this and maybe have no severe weather. Well, we'll see what happens. You can bet your storm team is going to be on top of it for you. Between about 4 p.m. and about 11 o'clock tonight is the time frame that we're looking at. The cold front will move through this evening. Out ahead of the front, we're on our way to the upper 70s. But behind the front, look what happens tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll see a good bit of sunshine, maybe a few clouds, but temperatures drop back into the mid and upper 60s. A couple of dry days Tuesday and Wednesday, and then later Thursday afternoon through Thursday night and maybe part of Friday, a system will move in, just bring plain old rain. No worry about thunderstorms because those temperatures are going to be quite cool with the clouds and the rain around. A lot of you are saying, Ed, I'm ready for some rain in the Piedmont. We have the chance today, hopefully nothing severe, and then we have a little better rain chance coming up Thursday into Friday. So we'll keep you posted, of course, on what may happen today. Hopefully not, but we'll be here to keep you updated. And then, of course, we'll be tracking those rain chances for later this week.
Interestingly enough, on that 7-day, Wednesday, which is hump day, is the only day where there's not a chance of rain.
Yeah.
And it's like a pleasurable day, 68 degrees. And it's usually the day that stuff happens because you have to get over the hump. But
you got to get over the hump.
We're
right.
looking forward to the hump.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. We'll be back here tomorrow with more great conversations and some fun. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.